Guys, you gave an absolute massive amount of love to our previous Grok Build classes. So today in class 7, we are going to learn something incredibly exciting. We are finally taking our recipe sharing app and making it live on the internet. If you haven't watched my previous videos yet, please go and pause this video, watch class 1 right now, and then come back because that's where we built this entire thing from scratch. Now look, right now, your app is only running locally on your computer. Only you can see it. We want to put it on the internet so absolutely anyone in the world can open it using a normal link. We are going to do this in separate parts because our app has two main components. The front end, which is what people see, like the buttons, the colors, and the cards, and the back end, which is the brain that saves the data, processes user logins, and stores the recipes. They need different hosting services to run properly. Before we do anything else, open your project folder and make sure your front-end and back-end folders are completely separate. Got it? Awesome. Let's do this. All right, here comes the most important step. First, press Win+R on your keyboard. Search for PowerShell and open your terminal. Type Grok, hit Enter, and go to your Resume Sessions to open our old recipe app chat. Before deploying, we have to fix a crucial piece of back-end code called cores. I'm going to copy this exact prompt, which you can see on the screen, and paste it right into Grok Build. Feel free to pause the video to read that properly. Now, why are we doing this? This basically tells your backend, hey, only allow requests to come from my official live front-end website. Without this setting, your live front-end and your live backend will literally refuse to talk to each other due to browser security protocols. I hit Enter, and Grok Build instantly analyzes the project, finds the files, and updates the code automatically. Once Grok finishes, we need to handle our environment variables. Go onto your computer, navigate to local disk C, click on your user folder, and go inside your recipe share project directory. Open up the backend folder. Look for a file named exactly.env. If it doesn't exist, just right-click, create a new text file, and name it .env. I'll open my .env file using Notepad. You'll see some raw keys here. Now go back to Grok Build and paste this second prompt to configure it for the live web. Update the .env file in the backend folder for production deployment. Change node_env to production. Add a new variable called frontend URL and set it to a placeholder for now. Keep all other existing variables. Make sure the .env file is properly formatted. I drop the prompt and Grok cleans up the file for me. Next, I ask Grok, what are the next steps I need to do? It outputs a long list of instructions, telling me to update things like the JWT_secret key, which is basically a secret password used to create secure login tokens so people can't hack your users' accounts. Because reading long code steps inside a terminal can be a little annoying, I just type create a notes file of these steps inside my project folder. And boom, Grok creates a neat text file right inside our local directory so we can follow along step by step. Now we need to set up our accounts on 3 free websites. First, go to github.com and sign up for a free account. I already showed you how to do this in class 2, so it should be easy. This is where we will store our code online. Next, head over to Vercel.com. This is where our live front end is going to be hosted. Finally, go to render.com. This is the cloud service that is going to host our backend server brain. Click on Get Started, choose Sign Up with GitHub, click the GitHub icon, and just authorize it. Before we move on, we need one small piece of software on our laptop called Git. Go to Google, search for Git, download it, and install it normally like any other software. Without this, your computer won't be able to push your local code files onto GitHub. All right, open a separate terminal window. Go to the top of your recipe share folder window, copy the full URL folder path, type cd followed by a space, paste the path, and hit Enter to jump inside your project folder. Now paste this command exactly as it is, git branch -m main, and hit Enter. Next, go to your GitHub profile on your browser, click on Repositories, and hit the green New button. Give your repository a name. I'll call it Recipe Share. Leave the description blank, switch the visibility from public to private for safety, leave everything else untouched, and click Create Repository. Scroll down and you will see a setup command that looks like this. Copy it, paste it into your terminal, and hit enter. If it says it already exists, you are totally good to go. To upload all your local files online, run this final command: git push-u origin main. Hit enter, wait a couple of seconds for it to upload, refresh your GitHub webpage, and boom! All your local project files are now safely online. Now, let's head over to render.com. Click on the New button and select Web Service. You'll see an option to connect your GitHub. Click on your connected account, hit Select Repository, choose your recipe share repo, and click Install. Now click on the repository name inside Render and a settings page will load. We need to tweak a few small things here, so pay close attention. For the root directory box, type Backend. For the build command section, type npm install. For the start command section, type npm start. Scroll down to select a plan. Now look, if you want to run a massive professional app, you should look into their paid options later. But since we're just testing and learning today, select the free plan. It has limited maintenance support, but it works perfectly for learning. Scroll down further and look for the environment variables or upload.env option. Click it. Now simply open that .env file from your backend folder on your laptop, copy all the keys and variables, paste them right into the render box, and click Add Variables. Leave the advanced settings completely alone and click Deploy Web Service. It's going to start compiling. Give it a few minutes, and awesome, it says live. Our backend is officially running in the cloud.
Now let's launch the front end. Head over to Vercel.com, click on Add New, and select Project. You'll see an option called Adjust GitHub Permissions. Click it. A pop-up window will appear. Scroll down to Repository Access, select your recipe share repository, and hit Save. Your repo will now show up on Vercel. Click Import. Keep the project name as Recipe Share. For the framework preset, make sure Vite is selected. Now down in the root directory option, click it and make sure you select the front-end folder only. Open the Build and Output Settings dropdown. Build command npm run build or check what your project runs. Output directory dist. Install command npm install. Now look below at the environment variable section. This is crucial for linking the two parts. In the key box, type exactly vite_api_origin. For the value box, go over to your render dashboard, copy that live backend URL link, come back to Vercel and paste it right there. And then hit that big deploy button. Oh no, look at that. We got a build error on Vercel. Don't panic at all. I just took a screenshot of this error screen, jumped straight back into my Grok Build terminal and typed, "I am facing this error while setting up my front end on Vercel. Tell me how to fix it." Grok reads the error, modifies the configuration files to make sure the build script runs correctly, and get this, it automatically commits and pushes the fix straight to my GitHub repository for me. You literally don't have to do a thing. Now go back to Vercel, delete that failed project, click Add New Project again, import Recipe Share, select the front-end folder, turn on the build commands, verify it says Vite Build, add the exact same vite_api_origin key and your render URL and hit deploy again. This time, boom! Congratulations, your website is officially deployed. Click on Continue to Dashboard and click the Visit button. Wait a second, the website page is loading, but we're getting a something went wrong error on screen. Let's learn how to debug this live. Grok Build actually told me exactly how to fix this connection issue. We need to tell our backend server what our official live front-end link is. Copy your live Vercel website URL link from your Vercel dashboard. Now head back over to render.com, click on the Environment tab on the sidebar. Look for the variable named frontend URL. Right now it has that old placeholder dummy link we added earlier. Click Edit, erase it, and paste your live Vercel website link right there. Now click Add Variable to create one more setting. Name this new key exactly site_URL and paste the same Vercel frontend link in its value box as well. Now listen to this very important rule from Grok Build. Make sure there is no trailing / at the end of your URLs. Clean them up so they look exactly like a clean web link, and also remove or port number variable. Save the changes, and Render will automatically restart your server with the new variables. Let's refresh our live website, and oh my gosh, look at that! It works perfectly. Let's do a live test. I'll click Register, create an account, log in, and click Add Recipe. I'll fill out the details, upload a dish image, click Publish, and look at that. It saves to our cloud database instantly, displays beautifully on the home feed, and works flawlessly even on mobile views. Now, before I let you go, there is one last incredibly important security step you must do manually. Go back into your Render environment settings, look for your JWT secret variable, and change that old simple text to a strong random 32-character password mixing letters, numbers, and symbols. Never share this key with anyone because it keeps your entire user database secure. And look, if you want to run this professionally as a real business later on, you can buy a custom domain directly inside Vercel, convert the web files into an app package, and launch it right on the Google Play Store. Of course, you would need to upgrade from the free cloud tiers to high-performance paid plans, but for creating an app and testing it live with your friends, this free method is an absolute goldmine. With this class, our Grok Build app deployment series comes to an end. We can still test and build so many more crazy automations depending on how much you guys love this series. I will leave all the step-by-step notes and optimized prompts down in the description below so you can try it yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button to keep breaking the algos, and I will see you in the next masterclass. Keep building.